When my husband and I first got together, we really liked each other. It was like a classic opposites attract. He's an engineer and I was an event planner and freelance writer. And so it was like, if I could dream it, he could build it. And he was a real yes guy. He was like, sounds good. The bigger I dreamed, the more he liked it. And we got married and we bought a house and something changed almost overnight. He went from being yes to, I don't know, almost parental. He was always like warning me about how that might not work. He was always coming up with all the reasons why we shouldn't do it. It was too risky. And anything that I wanted to dream into was potentially going to take away the life we had realized. And I was like, really? You really think so? And by the time I realized this was not just a passing phase, but it was a default setting in him, we'd already thrown a couple of kids on top of it. And it wasn't until the pandemic clashed with my perimenopause and I had the space and time to be like, the veil is fallen and I have some time right now to look up and be like, what the hell are we doing? We have been building a life out of scarcity and fear and the idea that the next bad decision is going to gut our whole life. This is where something really important and fundamental changed for me. I realized that we were an interdependent couple. Yes, we were married, we had children together, and we'd built a life together, but we were also still independent people. And so I was like, well, if I'm independent, then I get to have my own dream. And I'm going to decide what that dream looks like and what kind of life I want to live. And in so doing, he also can choose to dream into the life that he wants to live, whatever that might look like. And so that's what I began to do. With deep determination, I began to dream into what I wanted the second half of my life to look like. And I was like, you get to do the same. And if they happen to meet up at some point, great, we can weave those together. But until then, I am going to be here dreaming into my life. Our marriage had to go through 3 or 4 deaths to get to a place where we could start seeing ourselves weave the dreams together. And at each death, there was a threshold for me where I said, I'm no longer where you are anymore, and I need to move on. And you can come with me if you want, but that is your choice. And at each threshold, he said, where you're going looks a little bit more fun than where I'm going. And that required him to do the work. That required me to do the work. And that required us to come together and determine what it looks like to build together. But first, I had to let go of the idea that building together was a foregone conclusion. I had to prioritize and center my dream, my aspirations, my vision for my life, and allow him to do the same.